folks. We're back with Let's Talk Antiques this morning. Seems like everybody's happy and well.
Good morning.
Even Tiffany's smiling this morning.
Yeah, boy, what about that? Everybody just all ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, tell us what we're gonna talk about today.
We are going to talk about whatever pops into our head.
That sounds good to me.
That's a possibility.
That might not be a good idea, though.
No, that might be.
Yeah, that
Some
could
of
be.
it could be R-rated,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
may not speak about that over the air.
Yeah,
We'll have at least one main subject and at least 3 or 4 rabbit trails.
Now, we're going to talk about milk bottles, and we've got some interesting facts about milk bottles that I didn't know. Bill seemed to be well-versed in the subject.
Yeah.
So we're going to let him kick us off with that. And
Okay. If you're at a certain age, you might remember being awakened by the sound of glass milk bottles clattering against each other on the front porch. When it was cold outside, you probably remember seeing the cream at the top of the bottle freezing and expanding, pushing up on the cap. And you surely can still sing the catchy jingle, one at noon, one at night, one along the way. You never outgrow your need for milk. Drink 3 glasses every day.
I can't sing it.
I'm a little young for that, but if anybody knows the melody of that, feel free to call in.
Yeah,
and
call
sing
in
it
and
for
tell
us.
us, because we've been talking
Nice.
about that.
None of us.
I used to be a milkman for Columbia Dairy years ago.
Really?
See, you ought to know it
I
then.
remember setting them old glass bottles on the front porch.
How many years did you do that?
Not long.
Not long.
Yeah.
Not long.
Oh.
Yeah.
Years later, milk bottles continue to hold their appeal for collectors in large part because they are relatable and affordable. An everyday packaging for an everyday product, according to Peter Billingberg. Little wonder that Billberg, one of the 700 members of the National Association of Milk Bottle Collectors, answers an enthusiastic yes to the question, got milk bottles. So before the 1800s, the distribution of system for milk was basic with one goal in mind, get the milk from the cow to the customer. Open containers were filled with fresh milk and then loaded onto horse-drawn wagons, which would be sent to the people. Customers with some kind of ladle of one kind or another would greet the cart, and the milk would be ladled out from large containers, which was not a very sanitary process. And because it rises to the top after repeated dipping, not a lot of cream was dispensed as you got further down the road. I can't
Yeah.
imagine an open container on a horse-drawn carriage that you
Yeah, I
just
know
ladle
it.
your milk out of.
You know? And see, they had to wait tonight, because in the daytime they got pasteurized milk, and at nighttime they get homogenized.
Okay, so there was a general consensus that there was a better way to get the product to the public. Consequently, in 1880, several people, having independently considered the issue, addressed the problem. They fashioned containers with some sort of closure whereby the product would be delivered. One such invention was the Lester milk jar, patented in 1878 and featuring a sealable top to keep dirt and bugs away from the milk. Then one day came the tipping point. A child inadvertently dropped a rag doll into the for-sale milk. Without a second thought, the milk peddler stuck his hand in the milky can, retrieved the toy, and returned it to its owner.
Now, how would you like to been the next guy down the road?
There you go. For Harvey Thatcher, druggist and witness to the event, this was the last straw. Seeing how milk was distributed, Thatcher went on to apply for and was awarded several patents, including one for his so-called common sense milk bottle. He wasn't alone because the milk industry was anything but organized, and because a number of bottle manufacturers were at work at the time. Many innovators who changed the direction of the industry remain anonymous or unidentified at this time. Collectors, however, continue to uncover information as part of their hobby. In time, milk bottles were embossed, identifying the name of the dairy that supplied the milk. And there were 2 purposes for this. The first was to make certain that the bottles returned to the owners when it was emptied, but the second was just for advertisement. Keeping the name of the dairy in front of the customers were so-called slug plugs, made it possible for bottle makers who might supply a number of dairies to slip individualized slug plate onto the mold of a bottle. By the 1930s, bottles bore colorful words and images. Try to scrub them with an SOS pad and they won't come off, he said. The reason for this, although they appeared to be painted on the bottle, the graphics were actually applied by fusing pigment to the glass where it was fired. With this expanded capability to put advertising on a bottle came the idea to get the attention of housewives every time they reached into the icebox. Various trade names were applied to the process, with the ACL, which stands for Applied Color Label. Meanwhile, Thatcher Glass Manufacturing of New York called the process pyroglazing, advertising that this innovation would light the way to new prosperity and encouraging thought in 1933. As an aside, the noun pyroglaze has become used as a verb and later shortened to pyro. In the years that followed, innovations in milk bottles centered around delivering the product to the consumer in the most cost-effective manner. Bottle manufacturers introduced scaled-down quart bottles that were an inch shorter than the 9.5-inch standard. Cheaper to make and less likely to break, they were dubbed various names by their manufacturers, including handy quarts and economy quarts. Bottles with smaller mouths required smaller, less expensive caps. Another cost-saving measure, and square bottles were phased in, resulting in an easier, more efficient, and therefore cheaper way to pack milk into crates, trucks, shelves, and refrigerators. For the consumer, this new shape was easier to hold and less likely to be dropped. With the dawn of World War II, relatively innocent pictures on the back side of bottles were vying for space with topics related to the war effort. Nursery rhyme characters, sports heroes, and grazing cows competed with airplanes, tanks, and Uncle Sam for space on the bottles. Consumers poured out their morning milk, all the while reading patriotic slogans such as "Keep 'em flying," and not surprising, these bottles are particularly desirable. Of particular desirability is a picture, a bottle picturing Adolf Hitler, Emperor Hirohito, and Benito Mussolini. So that would be, I guess, the enemy's bottle.
That's the ones
not
they
our-
sit on the fence and shot at.
Probably so, yeah. A lot of those probably got broke along the fence. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the 1950s, the industry began to change dramatically. Home delivery became a thing of the past. Paper carton and plastic jug containers supplanted glass bottles, but a new category of collectibles has begun to emerge. Today, milk bottle collectors often focus on a particular dairy or town, county or group of counties or state. Although everyone collects for a different reason, most prefer the round bottles. Some zero in on specific sizes, others seek bottles designed to keep the cream on the top. Special cream top spoons are a item to seek, as are advertisements, metal milk boxes, and other dairy related artifacts. Quirky bottles such as Baby Face or Cop the Cream bottles, a competitor managed to get around a patent by insisting that a molded face on the bottle was that of a police officer, not a young child, are also appealing. For beginners, there's said that the biggest pitfall is buying willy-nilly before defining a specialty. The sooner you decide what you want to collect, the better off you are, he noted. Generally speaking, they suggested entry-level square bottles can be purchased from $5 to $40. Pyro round quarts range from $20 to $40. And those with war slogans or nursery rhymes are higher. They go from 100 to 150. Although really unusual examples might bring 400, 500, 600 or more. The aforementioned bottle featuring 3 World War II foes would fetch even more than that. Collecting something once considered not collectible gives you pause to wonder, noting that many bottles were buried or broken up when they were supplanted by more modern containers. And you can't help but pause and consider the ramifications to future collectors of mundane objects every time you throw out an empty Diet Pepsi can. Members of the Bottle Collectors Association enjoy an array of benefits, not the least being participation in their annual convention. That would be an unusual convention as a milk bottle collector.
Yeah. Now, I was reading some of the slogans on these bottles,
Oh, yeah.
and I thought they were pretty catchy. This one says, "Jack is nimble, Jack is quick. The milk he drinks explains the trick." And
Here's one that claims that it's more sanitary, calling the attention to the new streamline handy milk bottle, handy to handle, handy to pour, handy for refrigerator, double capped for your protection.
yeah,
So
it's a lot better than ladling some kid's doll out of the bucket. Here's one with Mickey Mouse on it, and says, "This is the way to be straight and say drink lots of milk with Mickey each day."
there you go. A treasure chest full of health. Buttermilk, heavy cream, cottage cheese, chocolate milk, butter, and milk. Try them all.
Now I wonder how long these bottles of milk would last.
I doubt they were. I
Didn't
don't
even
know.
say, but milk lasts a long time
Yeah.
nowadays.
Well, do you think they were pasteurized at that point? We'll look that up at the break and come
Yeah.
back.
I
Take a stiff.
What if I'm lactose intolerant? Oh my gosh.
uh,
Even if you're lactose intolerant, come back here on Thunder Radio. Let's Talk Antiques continues.
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
All right, that's my boy Max. He said that Becky's concert went real well in Woodbury the other night. Said, in fact, it's one of the best shows he'd ever seen.
I saw Max at the grocery store a couple days ago.
Yeah,
he looks
he's
fabulous.
He's getting popular again.
He's got a sparkle in his eye and a spring in his step.
Well, I'm going to give Donna a lot of credit for that, though.
I don't think Becky can give a bad show.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I
That's
think
what
even
I was
on
gonna
her
say.
worst day, you know.
Max said it was really a great show, and a lot of people down there, so they
Yeah.
had a real good time.
Yeah.
I believe
I
it.
hate I didn't get to go myself. I had some problems, and I guess everybody has them.
Well, yeah. Well, now while we were gone, we were trying to find an answer to our question a while ago of how long the milk would last, you know.
I was also trying to figure out when they started pasteurizing, if those bottles had pasteurized milk in them or not.
I've always
And
heard
I cannot find it.
pasteurizing them was bad for the milk.
Yeah.
Well, all
Think so.
all the milk farmers I know say that raw milk tastes better.
It does.
But I also know that people get, bacterial infections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you got to be careful. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't unless I was the person taking care of the cow. I probably
no,
wouldn't drink raw
The
milk.
orphanage that I was raised in for 8 years, well, that's what we had.
Did you drink
Just
out of the bucket?
Cow milk.
The
Did
ladle
y'all-
out of the bucket?
No, we had to cool it first.
I said, did you have your own cows there?
300.
Yeah.
300 cows. Okay, well, definitely. Then.
When I was a kid, my grandmother used to keep a bucket on the front porch, just an old galvanized bucket, with a ladle in it, and
Yeah.
you want a drink of water, that's where you got your drink of water.
Oh,
at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And when the well needed cleaning out, they had this old hand dug well. They lowered me down there on a rope.
I wouldn't have told that, Ronnie.
That was your
Hey, they did.
That was your cousins that just did that for fun.
I think
wasn't
that would be
That's bad.
child abuse.
That's big time child abuse.
Yeah. Or they just didn't like me.
I'm going to talk to your mama about that.
it? All right, well, I've got a 1940 Tolston Dairy red milk bottle featuring Ferdinand the Bull. And that would be the highest selling milk bottle on eBay here recently. Only 18 bids on it, but it must have started out pretty high because it went for $1,970 for a milk bottle.
Wow.
Now this, it's in immaculate condition, Tolston Dairy Incorporated from Gary, Indiana, even has the cap to go with it, and it's filled with little white, like styrofoam beads, like you'd find inside of a,
Yeah.
what do you call it, a beanbag kind
Yeah.
of thing. And it says, here's a tip from Ferdinand. It's no secret. You can tell. Drink a lot of milk each day. It will keep you strong and well. So, well.
All right, I've got one that sold on May the 9th, and it just happened to say that it was pre-owned.
Yeah.
Says it's a vintage Minch Dairy, Millham, Pennsylvania, milk bottle. Brought $1,500 for one bit.
Wow.
Here's a rare Disney milk bottle. It's a KV Dairy from Belleville, Pennsylvania, and it's got a little, like it closes and opens back up right at the top, which is the cream catcher area of it, and it's in excellent condition. 20 bids on that for $1,136.
No, the cream.
I bet there's a lot of people that's got some of them old Columbia Dairy bottles
I guarantee you.
around Coffee County.
I've got, just some old glass ones like these right here, just plain Jane ones. But I didn't know that the cream floated to the top.
You didn't believe that old saying? That you
I guess that's how they make the butter, ain't it? They turn the cream into butter.
probably helps.
Or
it's
the
easier,
straw
yeah.
into gold.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got another one from the same dairy. It brought $860. There's nothing in it. It's just a plain glass bottle. It does have a cap on it. This one sold May the 1st, brought $860.
I don't know whether they figured out how a brown cow can eat green grass and give white milk.
There you go. No,
Yeah, how's it
Maybe
do
They
that?
hadn't
someday.
figured that out yet.
They don't know.
I've got a
I've been trying to figure out how to get chocolate milk out of them.
That'll work.
that too.
Be rich.
Yep.
Bayview Dairy in Milford, Delaware. Third quart with embossed. This is embossed bottle instead of printed on.
Yes.
The buy it now on that was $1,095, and they actually had two of those. So, man.
Kind of like the way they fire that lettering inside that bottle, Tiffany, is kind of like what you were talking about, those porcelain signs. It's kind of something on that order.
Right. Last week I was asking you, when you say porcelain, it makes me think it's fragile and breakable, but you're saying it's baked on and it's real sturdy and...
Yeah, it's just a coating. Yeah.
I've got a Thatcher pint milk jar, complete with original lid and clamp. And this has like a, I don't know what you call that kind of lid. It's where it has the metal clamp and it falls on the
Yeah,
side.
remember
And
it.
you
Clamps
snap it
over
down.
and
Yeah, I
keeps it
don't
tight.
know the proper name for it. 2 bids, $810.
We could call it lid clamp.
There you go. And here's a World War II Soaky Kappa Cowie.
Now this
It's-
is just a little cardboard cap that goes on the top of it,
this
right?
is from a Hawaiian dairy, and this is just...
Oh, I thought maybe that was a fraternity.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like it could be.
Kappa Cowie.
Kappa Cowie.
It was a milk cap, just a World War II milk cap from Hawaii, and 15 bids on that, $818
For a
for the cardboard
little
milk cap.
I need
Yeah,
a
That's
bushel
probably
basket
pretty
full
rare,
of
I'd
those.
say. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, I have a another bottle. These are all from that same dairy that we were talking about earlier. He sold quite a few of them, but this one brought $800 with one bid. Just a plain glass empty milk bottle. And here's another one, a wide mouth gallon milk bottle. This is from San Luis Obispo, Obispo, California dairy. Brought $587 with 23 bids.
Well, people wanted that one.
Man, you don't see a whole lot of gallon ones. I see a bunch of
No.
little ones.
I've got a 1940s Tri-Gables Guernsey dairy in Plattsburgh, New York, and this is 2 colors. It's
Yeah, now that
yellow,
bottle almost looks new, doesn't
yellow,
it?
orange, and black. Yeah, for 1940s, it's in super condition. And 48 bids on that went for $676. And I'd say one of the reasons is because it looks brand new.
Yeah.
It really does.
I'd like to have a case of those.
Yes.
We'll get down to some of those cases here in a minute. Let's see what just the cases are bringing. Okay, I have a vintage Strickler's milk bottle. This is from Huntington, Pennsylvania. Brought somewhere between $415 and $570. And this one looks like it has those pellets in it too,
Yeah.
like you were talking
That's
about
probably
earlier.
a good way to fill it, to give it that feel that like milk
Yeah.
is in it. Yeah. And I've got a Locust Grove from dairy from Middleton, Pennsylvania. Milk bottle. This is just a embossed milk bottle. $600 after 42 bids. These people want their local dairy. We need to
Okay.
find some of those Columbia ones.
Yeah.
Now,
Guarantee you somebody around here's got some of them.
here's your milk can.
Yep.
Yep. That's
I
what
carried a mini one of them.
That's a vintage Weiss glass milk can. Staten Island, New York. Still rare. Dairy Industrial. $199 one bid.
That's what I've got. A couple of milk jugs, but mine have been sitting out on the porch for a while, and they don't look nearly as nice.
Now you
as
did
that
say you were giving me those if I come right on over.
one. Yeah, I'll give them to you for the right price.
Oh, I thought we said.
Now you know the rest of the story.
All right, we'll take a break and
All right.
we'll negotiate.
Ouch, sounds a little scary. Thanks for
Sounds
tuning into
steep.
your... I know, right? Thanks for tuning into your hometown station, Thunder Radio. Let's Talk Antiques returns when we come back.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
All right, folks, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques, and we're on milk jugs and milk cartons, milk cans, not cartons, but cans.
Yeah, I don't know any milk cartons. We'll see.
When they come into effect. They may have had them back then, but I can't remember.
They said in the late 50s.
They had to have them for the bottle.
So I tried to find some from your old alma mater of Columbia Dairy,
Yeah.
and we didn't find any of those. But I've narrowed down some Tennessee bottles. Is Harmon's Dairy pint milk bottle from Greenville, Tennessee. It's a nice embossed bottle in pretty good shape. 12 bids on it, $115. So even some things in Tennessee get some money. Here's one from 1940s McCampbell, Tennessee. Quart bottle. It says, lending a hand for your health, use our pasteurized milk. Oh, there you go, 1940s, and they're bragging their pasteurized milk. So
There you
8
go.
bids on that from $79 was the selling price. By the way, it was in the 1800s or 1880s, I think, is when they started pasteurizing milk. So
Okay.
so
there
they
we-
definitely knew about it in the 1940s. Here is a lot of 6 pint dairy milk bottles embossed, and they were from Tennessee, Colorado, North Carolina, and Washington State.
No, sure
They
you
went
go.
for $61 for that. Rotherwood Jersey Dairies from Kingsport, Tennessee. Embossed bottle, 5 bids, $56.55.
Okay, that's more.
slightly. I added a 0 on there, getting carried away. Here's a nice one. That's a Mayfield Dairy truck,
Mayfield,
125th International die-cast truck from Athens, Tennessee. I'm from Cleveland, Tennessee, right next to Athens. So,
Okay.
3 bids on that went for $57. And that was one of the. It was field trips. Everybody in my hometown has a field trip to Mayfield Dairy, and it's incredibly boring. But then at the end, you get to have fresh ice cream,
Did they give you
and
one
it's
of those
awesome.
model
Worth the
trucks?
trip, huh?
It's worth the trip. No, they didn't give us a truck when we were there. But like I say, all the kids are really bored during most of it. But then at the end, you get the big payoff with the ice cream. So.
Yeah, ice cream's good.
And that's the thing that the teachers tell you to behave, or you won't get to have the ice cream at the
Yeah.
end. So that's they
Okay,
know better
well-
than to give it away at the beginning.
I found some Hopewell Dairy wood and metal milk crate and 24 half-pint bottles. About $375. This is a wooden crate. You know, when we talk about milk crates, these little metal ones
Right? Yeah.
come to my mind. But below that, excuse me, I have a one from Indian Hill Farms, and it brought somewhere between probably $150, something like that. Now this is really neat right here. This is a vintage Ethan Allen Creamery Vermont wood milk bottle crate with a lock lid, and it looks like just a wooden box
Right.
with some primitive type hinges on it, and a little lock on the top of it. Brought $109.
Man, that's a lot
Yeah.
of
You
money
reckon that
for
was for
that.
ice? Just put ice around them?
I guess that's to keep the kids out of the milk.
Yeah, I'd say.
Because it's got a
But
little.
you can't. It seems like
got
there
a
would
lock.
be some kind of print on it, for it to bring $110.
It probably says Ethan Allen somewhere. You know, they're big in furniture.
Yeah, that's just
Ethan
really
Allen.
dark wood. I guess you can't see any print.
Then I have a vintage Babylon Milk and Cream Company at Lindenhurst, New York. Deposit box wood crate. Brought $95.
Man, I wouldn't have thought that.
Now I wonder how much you got back on those bottles.
I don't know. That's Ray. How much did
Yeah, right.
We,
tell us.
we just brought them back to the warehouse and they reused them. That's
Yeah,
I think you were just
something.
expected. I think you were just expected to give them back. You
Yeah.
weren't. You
Well,
weren't.
I got a
they weren't
nickel
for
for
sale.
Coca-Cola bottles.
Yeah, true. But I'd say that the dairies really.
And then I was
expected
really
them to come
excited when
back.
they went up to a dime.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had my wagon in the wind when they went up to a dime.
I've got a milk bottle cap from Ray Moss Farms. It says it's from Bonnie Oaks Drive in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And
wow.
my dad grew up on Bonnie Oaks Drive.
Oh, hey.
And or one of the places he lived, yeah. And so I'll have to tell him about this. So this is just the cardboard cap in a really good condition. Went for $53 with 8 bids. So.
I mean, really good condition. It looks like it's new, don't
I'd
it?
say for what would that be, a 70-year-old
Yeah.
piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
That was, part of it was wet at one time. Well, I guess there was probably something underneath it, but I don't know.
Okay, now I have a Borden's Dairy, another one of those milk boxes. We need to figure out what those boxes was for. So if somebody knows, call in and tell us about those. This was embossed, it had metal ends, from New York, 1954. Brought $100-ish. Now here's one now. Vintage Metalmore wood galvanized milk crate. Al Capone's Dairy. Rare collector.
They
Yeah.
don't tell them what was in that milk.
Yeah, I'd say there's a little liquor in that milk.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt that a bit.
Probably brought somewhere in the $100 neighborhood.
It's a clear
That's how they
milk.
sold that during probation.
Yeah, boy. Oh, what do you make?
Here's a Melrose Dairy from Lanham Brothers in Nashville. There's a pint milk bottle. It's embossed. One bid on that one for $20.
I can't believe they don't have nothing on Columbia Dairy.
I say I'm going through the Tennessee ones.
We're
not
looking
find
right.
one.
Yeah.
We're looking
I tell
hard.
a homeowner to get upset over that.
Oklahoma had some caps at one time.
Yeah.
I've seen.
Okay, I have a Meadowbrook Dairy wood crate, quart bottle deposit box. Evidently these boxes, because most of them say deposit box, I guess you just put them in the boxes and send them
remember
back. But anyway, it brought $70.
Oh, here's my first carton. Here is a 1 quart milk carton from Morrison, Tennessee.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's it's a quart one. Looks pretty old. That doesn't say how old it is. That's
Does anybody
kinda
know
odd.
where the dairy was in Morrison?
Good question. I don't.
Yeah, one bid on that, $13.50 for the cardboard container. Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also,
I got a
seems-
buddy, Bart Usselton. Now he may know something
Who?
about that. Bart Usselton.
Bart.
You know Bart?
I don't know Bart.
I don't know whether he's kin to your friend or not. My friend.
Edgar.
Edgar.
I have a vintage wooden dairy milk bottle crate. Another crate. But now these crates, they have the metal dividers in them and handles around the tops, and the sides are reinforced with, looks like galvanized metal. It brought $65. All right, I have a vintage Bowman Milk Company Wooden crate for glass bottles, $75.
All right, here I've jumped on a rabbit trail here that I ran across a milk token for
All right.
for one in Chattanooga, which made me search for milk tokens. Which these are they're basically like a little coin that is good for 1 pint of milk from a dairy. The highest priced ones is from Puerto Rico, from Aguare milk, 1 pint. 14 bids on that, went for $333.
Now that's some money for a milk token.
Yeah.
A lot more than the milk.
And then another one from Puerto Rico, Central Aguar Dairy, 1 pint, $231.
I've got a rare vintage. This is Error Heisler Cloverleaf Dairy, Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, wooden milk bottle crate. When it says error, I assume there's an error in the writing somewhere, $60.
Maybe there's no bottom in it.
Someone bottled it. Yeah, that'd be an error.
That'd be an error.
Just
your
put
milk
your bottles
box
in,
doesn't
there they
have
go. Clink.
I've got one for a South Carolina dairy token from Ware Shoals Dairy, 1 quart, 7 bids, $168.
Now those are neat.
These are really
I don't
pretty.
think I've ever
Yeah.
saw any milk tokens.
I have never heard of them. Here's one that's like an elaborate one. It's a flower design all the way around it. It says good for 1 quart of milk. Swiss C&D Company. It's a 1902 from the Tucson, Arizona territory. Good for 1 quart of milk.
When it was a territory.
Yep. 2 bids on that went for $113. I think that would be a good investment. Well, that probably cost a penny or a nickel back then.
Yeah. Okay, now here's an old vintage. This is 1967. Tri-Valley Dairy, Hamilton, New York. Metal wire milk crate bottle carrier. And this is all metal. Looks like it has some little handles that come up on it. Can't tell what it carries, but it's brought $49.
And one close to home here is, well, relatively, compared to Arizona, is a Knoxville, Tennessee, James Farragut Farms Dairy. Good for 1 quart. And it's, it didn't have a date on it. A lot of these have dates in like 1891 and stuff, so these are like unusual.
I would love to have some of those.
Yeah, I'd say me too.
That'd be nice to frame up.
We'll need to search on the other side and see what you can get one for is cheaper instead of the highest price.
Yeah. Go down there and find us some.
There you go. You can get them for $1, $1.50.
There we go.
Some too. There you go. Those are a little more.
That's what
a little more our
That's
speed.
what we'll be collecting.
We'll hold on to them for a while, and then they'll be worth $233.
Yeah.
There you
go. We got it figured out now.
All right. Well, are you ready for us to take the last commercial break,
Let's
Tiffany?
just take a little spot break, pay the bills. We're coming back with Let's Talk Antiques on your hometown station, Thunder Radio.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, And I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, folks, we're back once more with Let's Talk Antiques.
Okay. All right, and we've got one other thing we wanted to try and cover before we got off the air today. There was an Apollo 11 mission flag that was sold recently for a lot of money. Tell us about the flag, and then I'll give us a story.
Yeah. You remember that one you see on the pictures that's just sitting there floating? They went up there and got that and then brought it back.
Oh, that'd be worth some money.
Yeah. No, but anyway, they flew several up there, and the flag. This one's a little bigger than most of them.
It was 8 by 12, where most of them are 4 by 6.
Right.
Inches we're talking, by the way.
And there's a certificate signed by the Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins, along with an official NASA certificate. The insignia reads, "This flag traveled to the moon with Apollo 11, the first manned lunar landing, July 20th, 1969. Hand-signed and felt pen. And it's framed up. Some minor show-through of glue.
Well, that's a 6 by 4 one. That's one of the smaller ones.
Yeah, it's one of the small ones.
Well, tell us what it brought. You leave us in suspense here.
I'm going to let you tell after you read the story.
That one. Okay. I
don't want to give it away. But let's say it's...
Well, that's not the one in the story. That's smaller than the one in the story.
Let's say it brought more than $20.
Oh, okay. The flag was part of an extraordinary lot that was sold at, what's the auction house? Heritage Auctions. Our collectors knew it. Space Exploration Director Michael Riley said, "We believe it's the first time such a large flag has ever come up for auction, and the collectors bid on it knew they were going after a very important piece of space history. An extremely rare, this is Apollo 13, flown gold Robbins medallion was sold for $87,500. Only 6 of those were produced. One of the most unique items in the auction was a NASA Apollo 3-seat crew couch, complete with head beam assembly and left and right hand stabilizer beams, manufactured by Weber Aircraft in 1968 for $55,000. That was have a
Is that all?
a couch that was part of the things that
they showed the little seat with the stabilizers.
The seats that the astronauts rode in to keep them from getting hurt. Heavy bidding for the exact seats that could have flown as part of an Apollo command module drove the final price to more than 4 times its expected $12,000 sale. So they're not even exactly sure about it. So tell us what that one brought, and then I'll say the other one.
This one brought $175,000.
So that really nicely done 4x6 bought $175, and the 8x12 one brought $187,500.
Is that all?
That is a lot of money for a 1-foot American flag, but it's got a couple of miles on it.
Yeah.
If you believe they went to the moon.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
Ray,
true. That
Ray
would, that
doesn't
would be
think
part
we
of
went
it.
to the moon,
It wouldn't be nearly as much if
and
it
he
did.
thinks the Earth's flat.
There's a lot of flat-headed people in it.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of other items
Yeah.
they sold there.
An Apollo-
Some rocket engines.
An Apollo 11 flown Silver Robins medallion, series number 405, originally from the personal collection of mission lunar module pilot Buzz Aldrin, sold for $47,500. It is one of 450 that were flown aboard Apollo 11 and the first manned moon landing. So they knew to like put all kinds of little memorabilia things and stuff on the flights while they were going, just for collectability's
I
sake.
saw one of them, Buzz Aldrin, I believe one of them, the main one that
Yeah.
first stepped on the moon or whatever.
Neil
He
Armstrong.
refused
Neil
to
Armstrong.
put his head on the Bible and swear to it, so I kind of put a doubt in that as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did see that with my own eyes. I mean,
yeah, Neil wouldn't swear he done it.
I think it was him. It was one of them. I don't know which one,
Yeah.
but I saw that myself.
Maybe it was James Kirk.
Who's he?
Star
He
was-
one of them.
He was one of
Star
the
Trek
War,
guy.
he
Star
was one of the
Wars.
earlier astronauts.
Oh.
Oh, speaking of which, Ronnie, are you going to go see Solo?
Am I going to see Solo?
Now tell us ignorant
Star
people, what
Trek.
is Solo?
Solo is the
Han Solo.
it's the Han
a
Solo
Solo.
movie. He's one of the original characters in the first Star Wars, and it's the back history movie about him when he was
Oh, okay.
he was learning. He was younger before the Star Wars happened.
Yeah. He's been wanting to get killed off ever since Empire, but
Well, he's not in this one.
he
So,
Tell him to go
finally
to Chicago.
he finally got him to kill him off, and
so,
now they're bringing him back.
I've
No
got-
spoilers. No
yeah, so
spoilers.
I've got tickets for tomorrow night, so next week I'll come back with spoilers for you.
Okay, Philip will spoil it for us
Yeah,
next
story
week.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk Star Wars next week.
Oh, okay. Let's see if we got some more
Tell about
stuff
the
on this.
rocket engine. There's some engines in there.
Where is
Just
that
get-
at? I didn't see the engine.
Right in here somewhere.
Uh,
They're not on here, or I would tell you. Dun, dun,
I don't got it. There's the Wright brothers, a piece of original Wright flyer fabric from the first Wright brothers airplane, on a presentation certificate to Edward E. Aldrin Sr. with original provenance and frame, sold for $32,500.
Wow, I wonder if that's Buzz's name, Edward E.
I believe so.
You think his mama named him Buzz?
Probably.
She might have.
Possibly his fellow test pilots named him Buzz.
Okay, an Apollo 11 lunar module reaction control system R-4D rocket engine with an extended nozzle manufactured in early 1971 sparkled multiple bids before bringing $47,500. Multiple collectors bid on a chance to own one of 16 such engines that were mounted on the exterior of each lunar module in 4 quadruple clusters. 16 also were mounted on each service module.
Wow. I
So,
didn't think that you would be able to buy parts of the engines.
I thought
from
when I
those,
read that they probably don't work.
Well, yeah, they probably don't. Yeah, I don't know, but you could probably use
Make
it as a
'em work.
mold to, build your own.
Might make them work. I used to build little model rockets
Oh yeah, there you go.
when I was a kid. I had the little launcher and
That's what I.
all that.
We got
stuff.
some when Hastings was going out of business. We bought some on clearance, and so all the big rockets were gone, but we got a smaller rocket, but the big engines were still there. So I got one of the small rockets for the kids, put the big engine on it, and it went up so high we couldn't
course you
see
did.
it. I was like, well, you see, when I was a kid, I couldn't afford
course
the
you did.
the big engines for them. They were expensive, so
Yeah.
buying them on clearance and loading them up on the little one was the way to do it, to show them off to the kids. And the kids were not impressed because you couldn't see the rocket; it was gone.
I got one of the little battery operated helicopters You know, just the
Yeah.
small one, not the great big ones.
Yeah.
And I fly it around my house, and a hot dog runs every time I
I
get
was
it.
going to say you chase your dog with it.
Yeah. Well, he's afraid I'm going to run it into him.
Well, and rightly so, I would say.
So, how much time we got left here?
About 2 minutes.
Okay.
I was trying to pull
A
some.
tight 2 minutes.
Well,
more-
let's, well, I want to tell you about these teapots, but we're going to wait. Let's save that for next week.
All right, I've got Apollo 11 signed original Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Collins NASA Eagle. So this is like a little. I'm not sure if it's just paper or what it's made out of. They were asking $10,000 and took somewhere a little over $3 for it. Here's a Apollo 11 aeronautical chart and information kit. U.S. Air Force 1969. That went for $3,150 as a buy it now. Here's the Apollo 11 press kit. That would be pretty cool. to
Yeah,
have.
it'd be neat.
And the Apollo 13 press kit. And James Lovell signed. One bid on that went for $2,900. And the original Apollo 11 flight plan.
Oh,
Four
no,
bid-
I'd like to have that.
4 bids on that. For you got $1,300 to.
No,
to chip in for
but I'd
it.
like to have it. Maybe somebody will feel sorry for me and get
There
it
you
for
go.
me.
That's what I've got. I've got saved some of my stuff when I shoot certain shows at Bonnaroo. They make you when you originally sign up. When you're going to be a videographer or photographer, you sign some stuff saying you won't use it in ways that they don't allow.
Right.
Kind of stuff. And for certain shows, the management for that band makes you sign their specific ones so that they could go after you too if you were to do it. And I've got one for 9 Inch Nails. It was supposed to be their last concert they ever played in America, but since they're just sold tickets for Nashville show, I guess they've changed their mind.
They changed their mind
needed
about
some
that
more
one.
money.
Somebody got to pay their electric bill.
There you go.
I have an original NASA photograph. Apollo 11 has Buzz Aldrin and the U.S. flag.
Looks like an Arizona rock there.
Now, this says it was pre-owned. It was pre-owned. 7
now-
bids, $280.
I might doubt the authenticity of a $280 of the original.
And this is
photo
the
there.
flag that we're used to seeing is the one that's just floating
Think
there.
it's still up there?
Yeah.
Well, sure, it's still there.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's brought it back. Well,
With that, I think we're done, aren't we?
We're done with space.
With space.
Spaced
Done
out.
with space, the
What-
final frontier.
Next week, we'll talk about Star Wars and Han Solo
And teapots.
and teapots.
That all goes together only on your hometown station, Thunder Radio. Let's Talk Antiques. We'll be back next.